record this conversation. The last song in Mulan is A Girl Worth Fighting For, and it immediately it's like, what do we want? A girl worth fighting. And then it like cuts off because they see the village is like burned to the ground. But there isn't another song after that. We could at least get a finale, but we don't.
That's true.
The only two that I've like had people comment in that TikTok was Moana, because the reprise, and Hercules. And Hercules is the only one I would actually say has a song. But even then, like there is no song in Hercules between, hold on, let me look this up. Hercules soundtrack. I feel like there's no song after oh my gosh, no, and that's a gospel, because even they have like 5 million gospel truths.
Yeah, there's like 6 of them throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Which
because there's no,
those songs make me the happiest woman. Any song from Hercules though, because Hercules is my favorite Disney movie. But the gospel truth, like each gospel truth or like whatever song, they make me the happiest woman on the planet.
Me too. Hearing Lilius White, amazing.
Yeah,
so
also I got beef because Catherine Alice posted at Catherine Alice, Katie Oxman posted on her Instagram story and was like, what types of like Disney princesses do we want to see, like, you know, in the future and stuff. And a lot of them, I feel like a lot of them were like, when I was reading some of them, I was like, I don't think y'all have kept up with a lot of Disney movies. And I hate saying that because like they were correct, like they were all correct, like they're all valid, because we do need more of them. But it was like there was one that was like a mom/queen that isn't like wicked or dead, and I'm like Princess and the Frog, Tangled, like I was like
Brave,
like her mom was the villain at first in Brave, if we're big.
I wouldn't say she's the villain. I'd say that they had a mother-daughter spat.
She was like the anti-hero situation.
Yeah, but she's not a villain.
Well, no, but I mean,
because the two of them end up working together.
In Merida's eyes, she was the villain at first, okay? And then, which I hate Merida, so like
I don't mind Merida.
I don't like her. She's so whiny, like in like the worst way. But
no,
like,
I understood Merida. I totally got her.
I mean, like I got her, but at the same time, like rewatching it now, I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters, I'm pretty sure, because it wasn't my favorite. But I think it's because it was Pixar. I'm not a big Pixar person. I'm very picky about Pixar movies. But I watched it with my friend
the other day.
Soul is so good. Soul literally made me weep so hard. I love it so much. But I also love Inside Out. So like those two kind of go hand in hand. But then there was like another one that was like, I want like a woman of color where the storyline doesn't focus solely on like her race and ethnicity and everything. And I was like, I'm hearing you and like I'm listening and I agree, but are we gonna discount the stories that are like different cultures? So like Raya and things like that. Like I'm like, but does that, because it's not about their like culture, but it incorporate, like I'm like, I don't know. There are now princesses who are women of color, like Raya and Tiana, and like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Tiana, while it is very important that Tiana is a Black woman, I wouldn't say that like her story revolves around being.
It didn't at all. I mean, granted, she was a frog for most of the movie.
That's true.
And I hated that. Like, I was like, can we get a sequel where she's like thriving in her restaurant? I'm like,
where she and Naveen are just like thriving.
Literally, like my friend Evan, she was like, I want like a cooking show. Like I want like a Tiana cooking show.
As like Disney shorts. That'd be so fun.
Well, like, like the Tangled show.
Mm-hmm.
We want like a Princess and the Frog, but it's like a cooking show with Tiana. Like, I think that would be so fun. I would watch it.
That would be fun. They should do that at like Disneyland.
They should. Well, that's the thing, though, is I want Tiana's place to be a restaurant at Disney World in Port Orleans. Like, I want them to build the restaurant in Disney Springs or in Port Orleans, because I think that would get so many people. Like, I would go all the time.
Well, in Disneyland, they've got the Mint Julep bar in New Orleans Square, and that has beignets and stuff, but nothing is like, and Tiana does hang out around there, but it's not like,
well, that's what I'm saying though, is like, well, and there's not really like a place where Tiana like hangs out in Disney World other than just like where all the princesses are in Magic Kingdom. So like I went outside of the parks where like Disney Springs and all the resorts are, because there's a Port Orleans resort. So like, and they have like beignets and whatever there, but I'm like, but I want like Tiana's gumbo. Like I want like, you know what? Like I want Tiana's food. I want Tiana's place to be a real restaurant, because y'all set it up in the movie for that to happen, and then you gave us nothing.
Well, here's the thing: is I was watching a Dan Povenmire TikTok, and somebody was like, love him, and he's the creator of Phineas and Ferb.
My fave.
Why there wasn't some toy that existed, and it was, I don't remember, like a something Momo, Ducky Momo or something.
Yeah.
And they were like, why don't they sell that? It makes no sense. Like, it seems perfect. And then he said that Disney has some contract where if it's being sold on, like, in their thing as a product, they can't make it an actual product. And I don't know why.
That's weird.
Like, that's why there is no like Ducky Momo.
But that's a toy though. A restaurant should be different. Like they made Pizza Planet, and Pizza Planet sucked though. They got rid of it because it sucked. It was like school style tiny little pizzas. They were disgusting. And the inside of the plate didn't even look like Pizza Planet. Like I went in and it just looked like an arcade that looked nothing like Pizza Planet. It just looked like their arcade in Disney Springs.
At Disneyland, there's Pizza Port, which has been around for forever.
Well, they should change it to Pizza Planet.
And it's not, it's more like cafeteria style. Like
that's
you
go in, you pick up what you want. Yeah.
Pick up what you want, and they have really good pastas there. And actually their pizza was pretty amazing.
Oh, couldn't be Magic Kingdom, or not Magic Kingdom.
And it was in Tomorrowland, or it is in Tomorrowland. And I always liked it. It's kind of like the one place like, hey, we're going to Pizza Planet. Yeah, we're going to Pizza Port. Yeah, we're going to Pizza Port. But everybody just kind of called it Pizza Planet because it was what it should think it would be.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Disney does things where they can't do.
Well, but like restaurants shouldn't be the same as like a product. Like a restaurant is completely different, because all they got to do is make a pizza restaurant and then slap Pizza Planet on it. And it's Pizza Planet, and that's what they did, and it sucked. And I'm like, okay, y'all could have at least made the inside look a little bit like Pizza Planet.
I don't know why, but part of me says it's like all to do with rights. Like, who has the right? Is it like the story? Is it whoever came with the story? Whose idea was it? Who named it? Do we have the rights to this? Is this okay to do? I think that's what it comes down to. And also, like, they just don't want to pay more money. They said, we'd rather do this. It's like the same reason. I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Disney World, but I feel like they'd much rather build, like they built the whole Ratatouille ride rather than just making like a French restaurant.
Like, no, they have a French restaurant in Disney.
Like a French, like a Ratatouille themed restaurant.
No, but they have a French restaurant, and it's got Ratatouille.
Is it called like
they have. No, but then they have like an attachment, like gift shop, and it has all the Ratatouille stuff in it.
But that's the thing, is like you can do like a gift shop connected to a restaurant rather than just like naming the restaurant Gusto's, or what are other ones? It's like, I don't know. It's like I think it all comes. Part of me thinks it's like Bubba Gump. It's like that came from Forrest Gump, and everyone goes there for Forrest Gumpish things. I didn't even know that was a thing. I knew about. I knew about the restaurant.
First time hearing.
And then it wasn't until years later I'd watched Forrest Gump, and I was like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate Forrest Gump.
I don't like Forrest Gump either.
And this is the first time hearing that that's like a Forrest Gump thing. I've been to Bubba Gump's like a couple times.
No, Bubba Gump's is. It's because I've seen the movie once. I was bored.
I saw it once like ages ago. I don't remember any of it. I did not like it.
But in it's because like there's a restaurant in the movie between he and his friend Bubba. They create a restaurant called Bubba Gump's, and it's just they said, we'll make one. And then they said, we're going to make 100 of them. And
it's like a whole chain.
And it's like, what? How did, like, it came out of the movie.
That's so strange.
It's so weird.
I think we went to one in like South Carolina or something at some point. I don't remember it, but
I've never been because I don't like seafood.
I hate seafood.
Like, I keep hearing about like Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster, but I could never step foot in a Red Lobster because I can't.
You know that? Smell. Okay, but Red Lobster, it doesn't even smell like seafood because they have seafood, but they have so much other stuff. It's basically just like all the types of food. Like when I go to Red Lobster, I get like pasta.
But it's the smell I can't get past.
I've never smelled seafood in a Red Lobster. I'm like 1000% because I would not be able to do it either. But also you can just like, you can literally DoorDash Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster.
I could, although the closest one to me, there's one in Long Beach and there's one in.
Well, then order it and then go pick it up. And
I'm not gonna drive to Long Beach for Cheddar Bay. Oh no, sorry, that was Bubba Gump. Sorry, Bubba Gump. The closest, there's one in Long Beach and there's one in Anaheim.
Oh, well, the Cheddar Bay biscuits are worth it, let me tell you.
Where's the one in Anaheim? Is it by, yeah, it's right by Disneyland. Everything that's like by Disneyland, it's not connected to it, but it's right there. It's like right off, what's it, Catella? Yeah, right off Catella. Which was funny. I saw this like meme. I want to say it was, it must have been before like probably like February, March of 2020. Because it was Jock Peterson was traded to the Angels, but the deal ended up falling through. But somebody like posted a picture of the ump like pointing, and he's like looking toward, like he and Jock Peterson are like looking towards where he's putting, and they just put, yeah, so you're just gonna want to take the 5 South, exit Catella, turn right or whatever. And I was like, that's funny. Love you, Jock. Now you are. Then the deal ended up falling through. Then he became a free agent. Now he's on the Cubs.
He's just vibing.
He's like, okay, cool. I got to go from Los Angeles to Chicago. Sick.
Okay.
He's what like, I hate to be. We lost like so many of my favorites. We lost Jock. We lost Kike. We lost. Well, those are the only 2 ones I really cared about. We also lost Pedro Baez and Alex Wood and like Ross Stripling. We lost a lot of people. Cody Bellinger. Coming back today, though. So exciting. Last night's game.
All my guys are still with my team, so I'm not.
There was a
I have nothing to worry about.
Somebody made a
long-ass contracts with the Yankees.
Somebody made a meme of Trevor Bauer because he was wearing a shirt in like a post-game interview, and he had put a piece of paper over it, and it just said, "Not my logo, don't find me." And then somebody like took that picture, like took off the words, and then made it said, "I miss my friends." And then it had like Bellinger and Seager and Dustin, like had all the people who were on the injured list off. And I was like,
my God.
I miss your friends too. I miss them.
I just keep laughing at like the men. I can't even say people. It's the men on the internet today that are like, Stanton's not on the roster. They're like asking to lose. And I'm like, they did fine at yesterday's game. And he wasn't on the roster yesterday. Like,
last night's game was a true heartbreaker. I was telling you.
The Yankees just keep winning.
Well, the Dodgers have won 13 of the last 16, which is really nice after they had a terrible slump.
Yeah. They had like a month of like horrendous.
The worst. But they like something clicked finally. But last night they were playing the Giants. And so today we're recording, this is Saturday, May 29th. Last night they played the Giants, and it was fine, things are going okay. And then in like this, like things, they just kept like, one would score a run, the next would, and so it just kept keeping up. And then I think even like the 7th or the 8th, San Francisco scored like 3 runs, and I was just like, oh man. Yeah. And then it was the bottom of the 9th. There were 2 outs. We had 2 people on. We were down by 3. Austin Barnes comes to the plate, and I'm like, okay, Austin Barnes, you're okay. Like, at this point, I'm like, just don't make it miserable. Like, I just don't want a miserable game. Austin Barnes homers. Like homers. It is tied. And then Albert Pujols. I always misplace the L in saying his name. I say Pujols, but it's Pujols. He got up to bat. He fucking swung, and that shit would have been out. It should have been out. But the man on the Giants, he timed his jump correctly, got his arm all the way back over the wall, and like fell backwards.
Jesus Christ.
And like I was like, everybody thought it was out. Everybody was like, oh my God, he just got a walk off. No. This guy, he's laying on the ground. He's laying on the field. His glove is behind him, and you just see white in his glove, and it is heartbreaking. And then they lost it in the 10th.
That's so
because of our lovely bullpen.
That's so funny.
We've been recording for like 15 minutes, and we haven't mentioned Broadway, which is fine.
Who cares?
This is just what our thoughts and our souls are feeling.
We mentioned Disney music. That counts.
We did. Let's talk more about Disney music, okay?
Okay.
What is your favorite Disney movie musical?
Hercules.
Me too.
Hercules is my favorite Disney anything. I love Hercules. It's been my favorite most of my life.
I love her.
Radicalized me as a child because I saw Meg and I was like, women.
That movie is so good. Like the song,
it's just so good.
The song "Go the Distance" is such a
"Go the Distance" is my favorite song ever written.
It is a perfect song,
especially the reprise.
Because like when you feel like lost, like okay, so in your 20s, your early mid, I'm probably sure for the rest of my 20s, you feel so fucking lost. And
like mine is clinical depression though.
Fair. But like you just feel so lost. Are you drinking? Did you eat Raisin Canes?
No, I reheated my dad's chicken yellow curry from the other night, and then I have this from yesterday. I just got toast last night, and so.
Do you actually like Raisin Canes?
I don't like their chicken.
I think it's like I think it's so bland. I think it has
no flavor, but I love the toast and the sauce. That's the only reason that I even go. What?
Mm-mm.
When I was in Radford, the closest Cane's was 3 hours away in Charlottesville, and I said, I'm not going there. That's where the Nazis are. So I did not want to.
Fair.
Charlottesville, Virginia is where the Nazis are. I was not going to go. So I was like, I'm just going to stay here and just have Zaxby's as my alternative because Zaxby's is like the wannabe Cane's. And that was even in Blacksburg. Like that was at Virginia Tech. So I'd have to drive like 20 minutes to go there, but I didn't mind. It was whatever. But here at home, I have a Cane's literally walking distance, like right behind my house. So I go all the time and I literally will just get like a couple pieces of toast, a thing of sauce, and then like a Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, that's my dinner.
My brother, so In-N-Out has this thing called all-starring, and it's when you go and open up a new store. So, because you can't just like open up a new store with brand new people.
Yeah.
So he went to Texas for like 6 weeks, and you can't eat In-N-Out for every meal for 6 weeks. So he goes, well, you could. When I tell people that I used to like have a burger every single day, like 5 shifts a week, they'd be like, are you insane? I'm like, I mean, sometimes I would just have like a meat patty. Sometimes I would just have fries. Like I wouldn't have like a
But to be fair, it's funny because like I'm also taking off my nail polish while we talk about this. So to be fair, the food that I'm offered where I work now, I'm not going to say where it is, but where I work now, the food that I'm offered sucks. So I either don't eat and I just wait until I get off work, or I will literally walk and like go and get, because I like work downtown. So like I can go like pretty much anywhere and just but I usually just don't eat.
Well, here's the thing. When you work at In-N-Out, you're not really eating your burger for
you hear me doing
enjoying
this like no. Okay, good.
You don't really eat, I mean, you can eat your burger for enjoyment, but sometimes it's just like, I need fuel.
Sustenance, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's what would happen.
That's true.
And you're like, I just need protein right now. Like I've been sweating, I've been working, because when you like In-N-Out Associates, they earn their burger. Anyway,
y'all are like constantly like feeding people. Like there's like never not people.
But so my brother, he goes, because he was in Texas, he goes, yeah, we would always go to Raising Cane's, and then they built one in Anaheim, I think was the first one they built like in the area, and so that's where he went. And I was like, y'all ate this? Y'all enjoyed this?
The chicken is my biggest beef with it. Funnily enough,
I was gonna say
beef with the situation. Because it just doesn't have any flavor, but their toast and sauce is just so good. But like, I don't even care. Like, I love Cane's. And where I'm from, Cane's is like a thing. Like, it's like everyone eats Cane's like all the time. Like, everyone gets it to cater their tailgate, like all that stuff. Like, it's crazy.
That's wild.
Like, they have tailgate like combos.
Interesting. I don't know what the
like 40 strips of chicken and like a bunch of coleslaw and a bunch of like it's like crazy. It's
no idea weird. What the equivalent of that would be here. Part of me just wants to say Panera, but don't know.
But like because and there's also I think, hold on, let me count in my head. There's at least 4 Cane's in Lexington, Kentucky. At least. So it's a lot. There's like a lot.
So back to Hercules. The song Go the Distance is a perfect song.
It is.
Alan Menken really popped off with that song.
Alan Menken just be popping off all the time.
Constantly. When
it's
I saw
the audacity, honestly. Like
when I saw Beauty and the Beast at the Hollywood Bowl, like in concert, he came out at the very end and did like a whole Disney medley, and it was so cool.
Love him.
There are certain things where I'm like, yeah, living in California, living in Southern California, living in the LA metropolitan area has its benefits sometimes.
Meanwhile, I'm out here like, I saw Beauty and the Beast on tour when I was like 12.
But the song Go the Distance is a perfect song.
Yes.
And listening to that like audio or that video of Jelani Aladdin sing it, utter perfection. Also,
they're like talking about doing a live action Hercules movie, and I'm like, okay, just cast the public theater cast.
Roger Bart as Hades. Hell,
are you kidding me?
Because
he's the original singing voice of Hercules.
That's what I love so much about it.
It's so good.
That is perfect casting. Also, Roger Bart being a villain, amazing.
Amazing. I mean, he was a villain in SVU. If you know, you know. That 50 Shades episode.
I like Roger Bart.
I adore him so much.
He and Gary Beach both reprised their roles as Carmen Gia and Roger Debris, respectively, in the producers of the Hollywood Bowl. Like,
awesome.
Like 2 years before Gary Beach died, R.I.P. But first of all, okay, I need to talk about that.
Thumbnail polish off. Oh, I got it.
I need to talk about that production because. Sorry, I'm drinking a Coke Zero.
Same.
That production of the producers of the Hollywood Bowl, it had Roger Bart as Carmen Gia, Gary Beach as Roger Debris.
Yep.
It had Richard Kind as Max Bialystock.
I love Richard Kind.
It had Jesse Tyler Ferguson as Leo Bloom. Rebecca Romaine as Ula, and Dane Cook as Franz Liebken.
I love Dane Cook.
When I tell you, he was phenomenal as Franz Liebken.
Yeah. I
was truly blown away.
I adore Dane Cook. And do you want to know a really funny Dane Cook thing? So there's this movie called Detention, starring Josh Hutcherson, Dane Cook, and a couple other people that are just like random. It's like a stupid like comedy slasher flick situation.
Comedy slasher?
Like, you know, like Scary Movie.
Yeah,
like
I know what a slasher movie is.
Well, no, I'm saying like Scary Movie, like the movies Scary Movie, like 1, 2. It's like that, like where it's a slasher. Yeah, so it's like that. It's hilarious. I highly recommend watching it. I haven't watched it in years, but like I highly recommend watching it. It's really funny. So Dane Cook is in that. And I knew who Dane Cook was before I saw it. This movie came out like 2013, I think. And so like I knew who Dane Cook was because like my sister liked him and all that jazz. But my friends had no idea who he was. And so I showed them this movie and they all developed a crush on Dane Cook.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. Like, especially because now Dane Cook.
It for Josh Hutcherson. Like, we were all like, oh, a Josh Hutcherson movie. Perfect. And we were all watching it. And then, like, we came out of this movie. It wasn't, like, in theaters. Like, I just bought it or something on Amazon. And I showed it to my friends, and they were like, oh, my God, that one guy was really hot. If that tells you anything about me and my friends, we all love older men. And so it's just, like, we will literally see an older man that's, like, semi-attractive, and we're like, love that.
Well, Dane Cook is dating like a 20-year-old. It's weird.
So I have a chance.
So you're saying I have a chance?
That's what I'm hearing. I found out yesterday because I told so like everyone on the planet knows that like my sexual awakening of like old men was Harrison Ford. And my friend was telling me last night that hers was Gibbs in NCIS, and I was like, that was my sister's.
Is that Mark Harmon?
Yes. And I was like, you're valid, girl, because he's hot. Like, he's still hot. He still looks exactly the same as he always has. And I love that.
Side note, the Dodgers just released their lineup for today's game.
Yeah.
Gavin Lux is starting, like, is in the number 1.
That's Katie's crush.
Truly? I'm in love with him. He's 3 years younger than me. I'm in love with him. Max Muncy, my guy. Justin Turner, which means that Mookie Betts isn't playing, which is fine. Cody Bellinger. Oh, wait, no, that is where he normally plays. I was getting his position mixed up with Corey Seager. Will Smith, my other love. Albert Pujols, Matt Beatty, Zach McKinstry's back too. Oh, look at you go. And then Julio Urias, who won the series for us.
We like orange.
I do. I just bought 2 orange.
I hate the color orange. I don't think it's a real color. It like makes me want to gag. But like it's very, I don't know, like there's something that like I'm into it on my nails right now.
That color, this is gonna be a very like weird thing that I'm not. That color reminds me of something that like Midge Maisel would wear.
Well, it's Essie. Check in to check out number 582.
Can we talk about nail polish color names and how they make
me laugh.
They're my favorite. Like at one point, just give me a Pantone color number.
I'm just like.
So you seem offended by that.
Sometimes I just like will buy nail polish based on what they're called. Like I was trying to buy like a new bright pink because my other one, like I'd run out of my favorite one and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, oh, I just need another bright pink one. So I was looking at the Essie because that's usually what I buy. And there was one that was like exactly the color I was wanting, but the one next to it was called like Bachelorette Bash. And I was like, I need to get that one. It's like, that's the one that I want. And then my friend Evan, she makes fun of me for this one. So she got me nail polish called Taxi Hopping. And it is the ugliest shade of yellow, but I'm obsessed with how it looks on my nails. Like I cannot get over how much I love it. I wear it all the time now.
Is it like yellow cab? Yellow?
Yeah.
Love that color.
But with like a more like a richness to it. Like I don't know how to explain. It's like
is it Essie?
Color. Essie, yeah.
I need to look at this color.
Essie, and it's called like Taxi Hopping, I think. It's like the best color for my nails. I'm obsessed with it. And then
why does that look green?
It looks like a weird green, but like it is yellow. Like it's like it's a genuine yellow. But it's like I love it. it's great for your nails. Like, it's ugly in every other sense, but like I love how it looks on my nail. Highly recommend. It kind of reminds me, in the bottle, it reminds me of the color like of Drizella and Cinderella, of the yellow in her dress, or like that lighter green shade.
The puke green?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what I just realized?
What?
We never said hello and welcome to another episode of Thoughts Shared Souls Bared. I'm Katie.
I'm Jill.
Today you're getting just
horrendous.
Literally just our thoughts being shared.
Literally the most random shit on the planet.
And you know what? It's fine because we're filming 2 episodes today. So next week you'll get something more substantial. But let's talk about like the Broadway news this week.
What's happened? I feel like nothing's happened.
Let me go back to the beginning. Back before the earth, the sun, the stars, all aligned. Is that the word?
Okay,
Monday, Hadestown announced that it was returning on September.
That happened this week.
That happened Monday. That was a Monday thing.
Feels like it happened like 3 years ago.
It does feel like it did happen. But yeah.
It's interesting.
It is a weird thing where I was just like, okay.
I don't know, something about it's just weird that they're going to be the first. Like, I don't, like, I've gotten, like,
it makes sense to me because, like, they're like, we won the Tony last.
Right. And it's like, I have nothing, like, hateful to say about it. I'm just like, I just think it's weird that they're going to be the first ones back.
Part of me feels like it's going to be like, well, we're the most recent Tony Award winning best musical. Valid. So there's that. Which, yeah, I agree. That it's like a weird choice to be the first one back. I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either. But then I was like, so poor Wicked and Hamilton. You're just like, well,
Wicked and Hamilton and Lion King and Chicago.
They're all just
totally threw my my theory out of the water.
They literally did. They were like, oh yeah, we heard Katie talking about this. So we're going to just ruin her life really quick.
Yeah. Girl from the North Country announced it's returning on October 13th, but without Colton Ryan.
Everyone knows how much I love Colton Ryan.
Which is sad because, like, what's he doing?
I was so excited to see him on Broadway.
He'll come back, I'm sure.
I've seen him in multiple regional theater things, and I haven't seen him on Broadway.
I'm sure he'll come back.
I know. I just wanted to see him in January.
What is this whole Winnie the Pooh the musical thing?
Okay, so it is life-size puppets. I want to discuss this. So it's an off-Broadway musicale. And it's life-size puppetry, which I think is interesting. Because it's not like, you know, like an Avenue Q situation or like King Kong. It's in between. Okay. And I think that that's hilarious. But I don't know what life size means because Winnie the Pooh, they're like toys, like they're stuffed animals.
Yeah, and you can see them at the New York Public Library.
Yeah, so like is it life size in the sense that it is Avenue Q, or is it life size in the sense that they are like the size of humans, like at Disney World or something?
I don't know. So this is what Peter Mania's thing says. Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, and their friends Piglet, Eeyore, Tigger, and more are coming to the stage in a new off-Broadway musical featuring the classic Disney songs of the Sherman Brothers. Winnie the Pooh, the new musical stage adaptation, okay, that's a lengthy name, is developed by family entertainment creator John Rockefeller, whose puppetry is on display in Paddington Gets in a Jam and The Very Hungry Caterpillar Show. Featuring an all-new story set in the 100-acre woods, the show will be performed with life-size puppetry and will have songs from Disney's Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree and Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day by Robert B. Sherman and Richard M. Sherman, as well as songs by original creator A.A. Milne. The run will take place at Theater Row beginning October 21st and is presented in association with Disney Theatrical Productions.
I knew it was with Disney because Disney would not have been like cool with it otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like a Winnie the Pooh person. Like I'm not like a super big fan, but my friend Evan is, like, she loves Winnie the Pooh. That was like her entire childhood. So I sent her a couple articles about it, and she thinks it's going to be good. And she's not a big musical fan. So I think that that's a good sign. But I personally, like, I probably wouldn't see it.
I would. I love puppetry. I think puppetry is so cool.
It's not my thing.
So obviously I saw King Kong, and I loved the puppetry.
I'm so jealous because I wanted to see it so bad.
And then I saw the Pasadena Playhouse production of Little Shop of Horrors, and the way that was like a 5-person puppet for Audrey 2, it was phenomenal. There was a part where they were like even using and it was a lot of shadow play too. So I find like puppetry and shadow play to be so inventive. I love it. Awesome. Oh, let's talk about the Hadestown band.
Yes, they're great.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. You like had it pulled up or something.
No.
Okay, so they're like super awesome. I'm gonna read the thing. I can find it. Hello, God. So they posted, or they said, I saw it on Ivana Blazato's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we, the Hadestown Band, recognize the exclusivity of the privilege that white musicians, white men in particular, have enjoyed on Broadway as chairholders, contractors/music coordinators, and subs. As chairholders, we can change this narrative simply by choosing Black, POC, and female subs from the vast pool of musicians NYC has to offer. When Broadway opens this fall, we will address this egress by pledging to appoint a minimum of 2 people of color out of 5 subs, at least one of whom will be Black African American. Each of us will also choose a minimum of 2 self-identifying women. We seek to provide access to work on Broadway to BIPOC musicians who have never played or subbed on a Broadway show but are qualified to do so. We hope that other Broadway orchestras will do the same, and we hope that music coordinators will hire 50% BIPOC people as chairholders. Hiring just one Black person, one person of color, or just one woman is tokenism. We want to create an inclusive, equitable community, and to achieve that, there cannot be any minority to speak of. Sincerely, the Hadestown Band.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's great. And I think what people, so something I didn't understand is like how musicians are chosen, like pit musicians are chosen. It's usually just like a music director is hired and then they just hire whoever they want. You don't like audition for it. It's just like, who do you know? Yeah. So if you only know certain people, those are the people that are going to get the jobs.
Right.
So I think like having this say, we're making a conscious effort to hire these people, I think it's great.
Like it's like the system is like rooted in nepotism. Like it's like weird. Like I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it nepotism. I'd call it favoritism.
Well, it's nepotism, and I wouldn't say favoritism though, because it's nepotism in the sense that it's like
implies that you are related to somebody.
Well, yeah, but there's no word for just like friends too. You know what I mean? Like there should be a word. I don't know if there is.
I'm sure there is.
Idiot, but
if you know the word, please let us know.
I think we're just stupid. So we don't know the word.
I haven't been in college in 4 years.
I just graduated college and I know nothing. But yeah, I'm very, very, very happy about it. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah. And then I would say like one of the biggest stories of the week, we got a date for the Tony Awards.
I wept.
September 26th.
Katie sent me an Instagram post and I responded with, oh my God, I'm thriving.
Which is very strange because usually if I send you something, you're like, I know, I saw.
I know, and you were the first person to tell me that the Tonys had a date, so I was very proud of you. I was impressed.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm 3 hours behind and wake up 3 hours after these things are published.
I think when you sent it to me, I had just woken up because I had like work that day. And
did you sleep till noon?
Yeah, because I probably wasn't going into work until 2:30 and I was gonna be there until 11, so I was probably asleep.
Okay. Also, I think it had like literally just been announced.
That's also true.
I think they like announced it at noon or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, okay, let's talk about this a little bit because I don't know how much of so they're splitting it into 2 parts. They're doing
2 hours of the awards are going to be on Paramount Plus, and then 2 hours of like a special is going to be on CBS.
Yes.
That's what it is.
So does that mean that no awards are being presented on CBS?
I believe so.
So all of the awards are happening on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
I hate that.
Well, here's the thing, though, is I understand why you hate it. I fully get it, and I fully agree. I think that putting it behind something you have to like pay for to stream is stupid. I think that's
and that's not saying that cable isn't cable, and like putting it on a network is more accessible than putting it on a streaming service.
But you can also get a free trial to said streaming service.
Yeah, but like still.
And usually you do like, and I'm going to do a little trick here for Paramount Plus, for someone who's speaking from experience, because I have Paramount Plus. After your first week trial, if you go and hit cancel, sometimes it'll be like, are you sure? We'll give you a month for free. And then you hit redeem and then you have a month for free. That happens sometimes.
I don't like that. I don't like that they're putting like the award, because like, okay.
I get why they're doing it from the standpoint of CBS. I get it, because they are trying to get more people to get Paramount Plus. I completely get that. However, I think that it's absurd that they aren't putting them on both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like, oh, you can be like, oh, you can watch it on CBS and then watch it again on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
because I'm someone, I love rewatching the Tonys. So like,
yeah,
you know.
I do too. But it's just, it's okay. The night of the day that this was announced, I had half a bottle of an Angry Orchard and said, my time to speak my truth.
Much. I had 4 TikTok links sent to me by Katie instead of her just saying, go look at my TikTok.
I am the world's biggest lightweight. I swear to God. But anyway, so I just started talking about how I feel about award shows in general, not just the Tonys, but like all award shows. Award shows exist to sell a product. They don't actually care about like, yes, they do celebrate the art form of whatever it is, but they televise them so that people will buy their product.
Yeah.
And they do that so that they can have like the Tony Award winning Best Musical Hadestown, to have that tag to make it seem like it's better than everything else that was a musical that year. I can't remember a single thing that came out in that season. King Kong.
But I will say also, I think because that is true, but I will also add that like that doesn't mean that you can't be excited about it and that you can't.
I'm excited about that.
And that the people nominated can't celebrate it. Because
no, that's like, not what I'm saying at all.
It's such an honor. Like it's such like an incredible honor to have that. And I know like so many people who strive for it. And I hate when people, not saying that you're doing this because I know you're not, but like I hate when people discount awards.
No, like that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is,
I was just saying like blanket statement in general.
It is an honor to win an award.
Of any kind.
Of any kind. It's an accolade. It's saying I put in a lot of work and this was accepted and loved and cherished by this community that I'm working for.
Right.
However, producers, marketers, they use it as leverage to sell a product. Yeah. And it does sound nice that a show won Best Lead Actor in a Musical. But like my issue with awards, especially
I got really excited when you said that.
My issue with awards, especially when it comes to art forms, is who's to say one is better than the other?
No, I agree, because it is all subjective, and it's
because the one I made an example of in one of my TikToks was, we're really putting Tony Shalhoub against Ethan Slater. We're putting those two against each other. They're both fantastic performers
in 2 very different ways.
Yes, and like I saw both of them in those roles, and they were both phenomenal. Yeah. However,
Tony Shalhoub is phenomenal in anything he does. Tony Shalhoub is the greatest gift we've ever been given on this earth, and I stand by that statement.
But what I'm saying is like having those two compete for the
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Ridiculous.
And if we're gonna, and here's my main beef with the Tonys. I have wanted a best ensemble category for years. And I think that this was the year to do it. And they didn't. I think that we've been asking for it for so long, and so many people have like been like, what the hell? And I think that this could have been their year to do it, and they just didn't. And I'm like, okay. Or even last year would have been amazing to do it too because of Hadestown. And then they didn't, or 2 years ago. At this point, it's literally 2 years ago was the last time that.
Yeah. Anyway, so my whole thing, so here are my thoughts on it. Paramount Plus, yeah, you can do a free trial, whatever. But I hate the fact that they are putting the award part. Yeah. They're making the award part the least accessible part of it, because they're saying, okay, well, what do we want? And I understand it from a business aspect, because you want,
like, it a lot of people makes sense as a like from marketing and business standpoint. Absolutely. It makes the most sense.
It makes the most sense. And they're going to, and I'm sure, I have a feel, like, I'm positive that Broadway's Back is not just going to be the shows from the 1920 season.
No,
it'll be, you can't fill 2 hours of that.
Hey,
well, you could if you only did Moulin Rouge.
You could. You absolutely.
You're not going to do for the entirety of Moulin Rouge.
You could if it was like a For Jill thing. You could. If they were like Broadway's Back for Jill Hayes, you could fill that 2 hours real quick with the 1920 season.
But I'm
you
sure
literally put
shows that are on Broadway.
Here's what I would want.
Except maybe the ones that didn't open. Like, that's the thing. It's like, at what point are they going to draw a line? Like, are they going to include ones that hadn't opened yet or had opened but weren't eligible?
A mishmash. I think it'll just be a mishmash of whoever is available and whoever wants to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, everyone's going to want to do it.
That's not necessarily true.
Who wouldn't want to do it? What shows wouldn't want to do it?
I don't know, but I just think that not every show would do it. I don't know.
Highly disagree.
Anyways, here's what I would want though, if it was just like a 2 hours of just like what Jill wants from the 1920 season. I would want it to be Aaron Tveit and Ashley Loren belting their faces off. And then the whole ensemble of Moulin Rouge performing Backstage Romance 15 times.
Okay.
And then I want the end of it to be Ricky, Tam, and Saw coming out and doing the, like, you know, like at the end in the encore when they do their little part.
Oh my gosh.
That's my favorite part of the whole show is Ricky, Tam, and Saw doing the their part in the encore. I don't know what it is, but it brings me so much joy.
Okay.
If you've seen Moulin Rouge, you know what I'm talking about because it's so cute.
I don't know. I am very excited about this, but I'm also just like, because I totally understand. Yeah. I totally understand from a business side because people watch the performances more than they'll watch like the awards aspect. Yeah. And they want to like incorporate as much as they can. So they want to make that the most accessible because Broadway's coming back. So here, buy tickets to these shows. I get it. However, just make it 4 hours long on CBS if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, that's what happened this week. So I hope you enjoyed our talk about Raising Cane's and Hercules and the Tony.
Random show on the planet.
That's what you're getting this week. Jill, where can people find us online?
On Instagram and TikTok at Thoughts Shared Podcast. And I'm at Jill Hayes.
Say it again.
Say what again? The whole thing?
The whole thing. There was a ticking.
Oh, at Thoughts Shared Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And then I am at It's Jill Hayes on all social media platforms.
All right. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at @CompleteKatie or on TikTok @KatieFornia. It's a fun time. Come hang out with us. Goodbye.